and welcome to Razz Reviews. Today, I'm going to be reviewing It Chapter 2. The movie is set 27 years after the first one, and we find the members of the Losers Club, now adults, and they're back in Derry to fight off the evil clown Pennywise and put an end to him once and for all. I personally loved the first It, and I'm actually a fan of the novel. I read it when I was in college, and it was really weird, but very, very interesting. I really like the fantasy aspect of it, and when I watched the first It, I loved it as well. I love the old Tim Curry It, so I'm signed on for this movie. I've been very excited to see it, and I love the trailers for it. And when I saw it, I must say, I am not disappointed at all. I actually really enjoyed this film, and I got pretty much everything I personally wanted out of it. It's a great follow-up to the first film, and it has a very satisfying development of the characters and their stories, and a really nice ending as well. So I enjoyed it, but I can see why some people might not like it or it might not work for them, but personally, it worked for me. I know that my opinion is a little biased because I'm such a fan of it and Pennywise lore and all that kind of stuff in the book. I'm not very objective, I know that, but hey, it's my channel, my opinion. I really liked It Chapter 2. Right off the bat, the coolest thing about this movie is the casting. There's like an Oscar for casting. This movie should get it because, oh my god, the matchup between the adult versions and the kid versions is really cool and it works very well. It's absolutely brilliant. James McAvoy as Bill is fantastic. I mean, it's James McAvoy. He's pretty much fantastic in anything. But also Bill Hader playing an adult version of Richie is fantastic, and he actually stole the film for me. I enjoyed his character the most, and I think Bill Hader gave one of the best performances in this movie. This guy is amazing. By the way, watch Barry. Don't ask me any questions. Don't research it. Just trust me. Just go, watch Barry, come back, because it's awesome. All the actors were really spot on. Jessica Chastain was also very good in this film, and I really like the guy playing Eddie, and actually he is the most like the younger version. I was like, is this actor like the young kid's actor's brother or father? Because oh my god, it's like they're the same person. Eddie is my favorite character in the books and in the previous film, so I also enjoyed that as well. Speaking of the book, I was actually really curious to see how they're going to show us or treat us to the lore of Pennywise, his origins, what he is, where he comes from. And they actually did go into this in this film, which was pretty cool. There are some differences between the book and what we see here. And I mean, some of it makes sense because the book is really out there. It's actually very absurd. I don't know what Stephen King was thinking when he wrote this book, but it was quite out there. But overall, I thought that they did the lore of Pennywise very well. Of course, Pennywise, played by Skarsgård Jr. or Skarsgård number 3, was really, really good. We all know that he's fantastic in this. This is an iconic role for him and an iconic character in cinema, and it's going to be for a very long time, and he's great here as well. So this movie, like the first one, is more fantasy and coming of age than horror. Don't expect this to be a typical horror film where you're gonna be terrified. It's not terrifying, it's weird, unsettling, sometimes a little jumpy and scary, but it's not like proper horror. It's just uncomfortable, which I like because it's different than anything else. I like the fact that it's goofy sometimes because it makes it unique and different from any of the other horror films that are out there right now. It's a unique experience that I enjoyed. But keep in mind, it does go further into the weird and the fantastical elements than the first one did. So be prepared for that. And it also goes really hard for the emotions. I found this film to be very emotional. I personally got emotional and cried at certain points in the film. So that was satisfying to me, and it was also emotionally satisfying. I really liked the character development. I really liked how the story wrapped up and what happened to the characters. I thought it was a very nice overall, well-rounded ending for each and every one of them. So I'm a satisfied customer. In comparison to the first film, do I think that it's better? Not necessarily, because the first film was a lot tighter. This movie had some pacing issues, especially in the first half. And also, a word of warning, this movie is very long. It's like 3 hours long. I didn't know that going in. So learn from my mistakes and make sure to pee before you go in the movie, because it's really, really long. And it does drag on sometimes. Some people might feel like it's a tad bit too long. And they do also jump a lot into flashbacks, and there's a lot of exposition. And this back and forth between the past and the present can get a little jarring sometimes. There's a lot of it. But I really enjoy seeing the kids and the younger characters as well because I love them so much. So I enjoyed their presence in this film. But the way it was done wasn't always 100% well done. So sometimes it does feel like it's a little jumpy, and that was one of the things that made this movie not as good as the first film, where that film was very tight in terms of pacing. Even though that had a slow burn, but it worked very well in the first It. Here, sometimes it just gets a little sloppy. The tone here also jumps a lot. It goes from dark to funny, to goofy, to crazy. So it's a little bit inconsistent, but I like that because the whole world of it is kind of weird and manic, so I enjoyed that experience. But again, that also can be a jarring thing for some viewers. It could have been done better, so that's one of the weak points of It Chapter 2 for me. Overall, I really enjoyed It Chapter 2. I think it's a great ending to the story. I enjoyed it very, very much. I had a great time at the cinema. I actually do want to see it again, and it gave me what I was looking for from this film, and it pushed the boundaries on a lot of things that I liked in the first It. So overall, it was an enjoyable experience, and I'm gonna give It Chapter 2 an 8.5 out of 10. So, have you seen It Chapter 2? Let me know in the comment section what you think, and if you're a fan of the novels, let me know if you've spotted any Easter eggs in the movie, because there are a lot of them, and I thought they were really cool. So let me know in the comment section, and as always, like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to ask me what you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!